Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for? I watch people get stuck and frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck and frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. Start with our judges. Let's get our judges going. Introductions, a little fun facts, set the tone, and we'll roll from there.
Okay, I'm going to start with Miss Jennifer Pedley, and I'm going to say this part because I'm very proud of Jennifer. Jennifer came on one of these a few weeks ago. Jennifer is a chiropractor, and she reads X-rays, MRIs, and other things that would confuse me, but she's very smart. And so she came on as a judge today. I'm very happy. And tell us your fun fact, Miss Jennifer.
All right. Well, thanks, Craig, for having me. And my fun fact is my favorite place I ever lived was in Sydney, Australia. And I would love to get back there again. I love that place.
What did you like most about Sydney, Jennifer?
There's just so much. The beaches are obviously beautiful, but the people are beautiful, so laid back. The food is amazing. I mean, it's all around really, really great.
That's awesome. And thank you so much for being here today, Jennifer. Awesome.
And then we have the wonderful Tiffany Armstrong and wonderful Miss Tiffany. We've worked together doing different things. And Tiffany lives in Arizona. And I don't know, great businesswoman. What else do you want to say, Miss Tiffany?
Yeah, hi, everybody. Nice to be here with you. I am an unblinded coach. I assist beautiful, wonderful people like all of you in how to run your real raws and create massive acceleration and scale of your business. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And my fun fact is I live on the side of a mountain. I'm blind, my husband's blind, and our 5-year-old is blind. And we are literally going to hike the mountain on Tuesday morning by ourselves. And it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. And I've had the privilege of being in the ocean. I'm blind also. My name is Sean Callaghan. I am blind. Surfing with Tiffany and her husband just a little over a month ago here in New Jersey. So rocking it, Tiffany. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think I didn't share that fun fact that Sean was blind and surfing out there. So, I mean, that is crazy, right? That is crazy. All right, Andres. Andres, I told him he's like the young version of the most interesting man in the world, if I said it right. And, Andres got a nice concussion having fun out in the ocean with another group. So Andres, but I think he's got his smarts back in him now. Andres, tell us about yourself. Kind of fun.
Thank you. No, thank you, Craig. Yes, no, I was crazy enough to jump into the ocean with a couple blind people and got knocked in the back of my head. Suffered a small concussion.
By the way, at midnight with offshore hurricane conditions and 6 foot, plus swells. Yeah.
Yes, that could be a fun fact about how crazy and wild we are towards these types of things. But yeah, so I'm sales trainer, mindset coach, and entrepreneur, creator of a podcast called Frecuencia de Abundancia, where I empower Latino entrepreneurs all over the world see what they don't see about their potential and the abundance they can truly manifest in their money, life, relationships, and business. So super, super excited and honored to be here, Craig, with you and all these people.
Great, very exciting. All right, Sean, that's our judges.
Yeah. So let's get to these awesome, fine folks. Thank you so much for being here today, for your courage, for your vulnerability. The access for this was realizing that influence is a superpower, which I realized starting about 23 years ago. Again, my name is Sean Callaghan, founder of Unblinded, president of Callaghan Law, founder of Callaghan Law, 125-person law firm in New York, New Jersey, Florida, Arizona, Texas, soon to be California. And just appreciating that at an enormous level. So I was working for a very large law firm 23 years ago, and I realized that the folks that had the time freedom, they had more of revenue, income, and impact with the folks that were generating relationships, could go from hello to yes with people, could bring in business. And I had no idea how to do that. In fact, I had no idea that even mattered. They did not put that on the brochure at Columbia University or on the law school brochure. So when I found that out, I was sick because I couldn't think of anything more disgusting, dirty, and horrible than generating business. Selling? Like selling? Yeah. And then I realized pretty quickly that selling was nothing more than revealing truth when done with integrity and heart-centeredness. So I jumped off a cliff. I quit my job. I was first person in my direct family line to go to college. I was $100,000 in debt from law school loans, had no relationship capital whatsoever or contacts. And I built a 40-person law firm in 2 years. So I couldn't believe it. It wasn't because I was so smart. It wasn't because I was anything so uniquely special, except this. I did what I was taught and I replicated it. I started studying, how do you build relationships? How do you accelerate? What's the science behind this? And that became my obsession. 23 years later, after I exited that first law firm, I built training development companies. I own the 125-person firm I mentioned a moment ago. And Unblinded is one of the fastest growing personal development companies in the world, a little under 11 months old. And we have more than 100 Real Raws happening in the month of November, scheduled already, a waiting list. And we're running programs everywhere, including a live event this weekend. And that's kind of what we're up to in the world. But it all began with realizing the micro distinctions of influence. And oh, by the way, I didn't say this. One of 2 attorneys in the country to be in the top 100 national jury verdicts twice between 2014 and 16. And both times we had a $0 offer going into trial. And through micro distinctions and how to reveal truth, it went from jury verdict consultants telling us we'd be lucky to get anything to having verdicts that were $27 million and $33 million in business breakup cases. So that's what's at stake in the micro distinctions of influence, whether we're raising money for a charity, building a business inside a courtroom. And that's what we're here having fun with and unpacking on the Real Raw. So Craig, back to you. Let's meet all these fine folks.
Okay. And Sean just said all that. I'll just tell you, I met Sean and I cried like a big boob on stage because I was into my goals, right? Talking about my grandkids. That got my attention. So I'll just say that. If you know that a guy surfs and blind, then maybe there's a little to it. So Sean, I love hearing you talk about all that. All right, we're going to start with my Bruno. We got 3 Kevins, Sean. So we're trying to sort it out here, right? So I started with the most handsome. Just kidding, Kevin. Not that you're not handsome, but I'm starting with Kevin. I'm going to call him Bruno because that's his nickname. All right. Bruno, what we're going to do is this. You're going to give, I'm sorry, introductions, right, Sean?
Yeah, we're just going to do a quick 30 seconds on what are you up to in the world? Like, what are you standing for in the world? And a quick fun fact. So
all right, go ahead, Bruno.
Well, I got remarried and I'm 54 years old with a 5-year-old son. And that will make you reevaluate your timeline quite a bit.
Wow, that's a beautiful
and by the way, he's a blast. And raising kids the second time around is easier because you just don't get too hung up on the BS. You know, you kind of let things go. So yeah, it is easier. You don't get as upset about little things. No, it's great. I decided to change my practice because, you know, the first wife left for some very good reasons. I was never home, workaholic, running 3 businesses, doing lobbying work in Sacramento. And you know, I was never home. I came home and the house was empty. She didn't even tell me she moved. So I didn't want to make that mistake this time. So I changed my business. At 6 in the evening, I stand up and walk away from the computer. If I'm not done, I'm just not done.
Wow.
I didn't get something done once and lost a client because of it, because it had to be done. But at 6 p.m., I wasn't done. I got up and walked out the door. And I don't regret it. I really don't. I later found out it would have been a difficult client anyway. You don't want every client. So, but family's the priority. And the funny thing is when I condensed my time, I condensed my schedule. If it doesn't get done in a certain period of time, it just doesn't get done. It forces you to prioritize. And then I went back to the old Stephen Covey. Remember our Franklin planner?
Yes.
A, B, C on your thing. You don't do any B's till you get done with the A's. And some of the C's you never get around to, which means they really weren't that important anyway. And then a few of them become A's because you procrastinated. So you got to be careful with that. But I started prioritizing. The funny thing is I do less and accomplish more. It's hard to do when you're a little OCD like I am to force yourself to do those things. But I'm a financial advisor and I decided to go into a very niche area, something people can't compete much with. And that has accelerated my business. And once you solve a certain problem for certain high net worth clients, boy, the other advisor gets fired pretty quickly because he knew nothing about how to do what you just did. You just saved him $500,000 in income taxes on a single transaction. The other advisor couldn't do that. Well, now they hand you all their other accounts. So it's funny, I'm getting more IRA business to manage not doing IRAs. You know,
Very
they
good.
just hand them to me anyway. So
Quick, how about, so what I'm hearing you say is that you are living in the formula that we teach. And that's extraordinary. And you don't even know it, right?
well,
It's because
I'm struggling with it, you know, because I have OCD
yeah, but
element. And
the
it's tough.
dynamic is, it's like gravity. It's like there's a set of rules and constructs for why we're able to accelerate and scale. And you're either there or right there. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's inspiring to hear your openness, your vulnerability, and where you're going in the world. And I mean that from my heart. Like, this is what we do here every day with all kinds of people from all over the world. Remarkable. And quick fun fact.
Oh, I shared this with Craig the other day, something I hadn't thought about in a long time. I learned how to ride horses and how to shoot with Roy Rogers.
Oh my God, that's like one of my top 10 favorite fun facts yet. This is the 258th episode of The Real Raw since COVID began. Well over 1,000 people have been to The Real Raw. That is amazing. How the hell did you meet Roy Rogers?
My grandfather and he were friends, and a whole bunch of families all adopted children. I'm one of the adopted, and the Rogers, they adopted stuff.
What?
And so I can't remember not knowing him. I knew him from the time I was very young. And he just took me riding. And one day we were target practicing, and it just led to other things. And we like to go riding together a lot. I shared this with Craig. I was maybe 9 or 10, and we were riding with a bunch of other men. I was the only person under maybe 50 on that ride. And he and I were riding in front, and a bunch of men were behind us. When you're out in the woods, sound carries. And he asked me something, because I told him that I'd found out my name was Robert Lee Holloway, and my name was changed to James Kevin Bruner by my adoptive family. And he says, well, you know, I had a different name when I was young. I said, really? And he said, yeah, I was born Leonard Sly. And then when we got to Hollywood, that, you know, wasn't a good stage name. So we changed it to Roy Rogers when we started singing and doing, because, you know, he was in a country band, you know, or a music band before he, was in the movies, right? Anyways, he said his name is Leonard Sly. I said, well, I could see why you changed it.
Well, welcome. The dude learning to shoot and ride a horse from a person that a drink is named after. That's a pretty cool thing. So thank you. Craig, back to you. And if Craig, we just reinforce, awesome job, loving everybody. Just to get to the dynamics of the fun gamification second part of this, we just got to keep a little tight at 30 seconds. If you can keep time, Craig.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Thank you for sharing all that. It was beautiful. And that's on us. We should have been even a little more clear, but I'd love to hear everybody's story for an hour, because it's a beautiful thing. Incredible. So yes.
Very good, Kevin. Excellent. I don't think anybody mind that good story. So we'll keep you guys time now. All right, Jeff Gonzalez, wonderful guy. Just give us 30 seconds about yourself and a fun fact.
All right. Well, as you know, I just got married, blended family. I'm originally from the Central Coast. Craig and I had talked about that. A couple of years ago, I moved down to Orange County. I've been in real estate 12 years. My fiance, 15. Got burned out in real estate. Was looking for some extra income, trying to figure out how I could be down here in the expensive OC, and ran into a company called Viseo. It's a 3-year-old company ran by an Entrepreneur of the Year award winner. It's built 2 companies in this space to $1 billion. It's only been 13 out of 48,000 to do that since 01. Got on some products, thought I could make a couple bucks, really thought I could use it as a tax write-off, and it's kind of blown up. I've got about 600 distributors all over the country, and a couple in Canada so far. And so doing that, and everything's kind of worked out. For me, real estate would always be there. So I focused on this business. I have it up and running, and now I'm actually going to start building teams with another real estate company.
Good job, Jeff. Give me your fun, and I can tell you.
Fun fact, I surf a very little bit. I bodyboard though. I got into bodyboarding because up on the Central Coast, the water is super cold. The waves get really big. And a lot of my friends were, becoming pro surfers. Instead of just not going out or paddling out, I grabbed the bodyboard. So I've traveled all over the world, Hawaii, Central Coast, and I like big shore break, like the wedge here. And big break.
Dude, I'm going to screw up time and integrity completely now. I have to ask this question. I've never been to the wedge. I'm a huge body surfer as well as surfer. Tell me about the wedge break, because I've heard it is like when the wedge breaks, is it like, what's the depth of the water at the break, and how far are you from the shore?
Depending on how big it is. I mean, it could be, 6 inches, a foot. On the big days, the side wave doesn't work as well because it refracts. The side wave pushes in and the other wave comes in. So when it's about 8 to 12 feet ish on a straight south, that's when it's really fun. You can, as the sand's right. But once it gets big, it has that peak. A lot of guys are surfing it now. A lot of guys are doing like skimmers, or paddling in on a longboard and then transferring to their skim. But yeah, it's pretty shallow. You got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing for sure. Body surfing is even harder, because you don't have that, that proportion. You can get caught on that lip, and that's when a lot of guys get hurt. But yeah, I've seen a lot of injuries out there.
Yeah, not confused, brother. I got a great body surfing break right here. I'm going out on in a few minutes. Surfing, but I body surf on a lot too, so I get
Nice.
the
That's how it all started, body surfing.
That's it. All right, awesome job. Sorry, Craig, for time integrity breach
Just
by
trying
me.
to talk about surfing, Sean. I need you. Okay, Kevin Mavers. Kevin, give us 30 seconds. I'm timing you. And a fun fact. Go ahead.
All right, let's start off with the fun fact real quick. I don't live anywhere near the coast. I've never lived anywhere near the coast. All right. I can't tell you. No, I've never been surfing ever. Body surfing occasionally. All right. I live in the desert. I am as far inland, as far away from the coastal communities as I can possibly get. I actually live out in La Quinta, so I'm about 25 miles south and east of Palm Springs. I have been a small business owner, an entrepreneur, writer, podcaster, all kinds of other wonderful things. Pretty much my entire life. Started my first company when I was 23. Wow. And although I'm sure Craig meant it as a compliment, I am not quite as old as Craig.
Oh,
not quite. About 30 days less old than Craig. I think our birthdays are 27 days apart, but we already did that.
So
anyway,
I'm the wiser one. Is that what you're saying, Kevin? All right, we used up our 30 seconds, but Kevin, you are so wonderful. And I forgot, La Quinta, you're closer to me than I thought. All right, and our third Kevin Moore. How are you doing, my man? 30 seconds.
Hey, nice to be here with all you. Thank you very much. Well, I got knocked out surfing about 25 years ago, so I don't surf. It just didn't work out for me. I grew up in the state of Montana. I've been in San Diego now for about 35 years, got an amazing wife, 2 amazing children that are young adults doing great things in the world. Fun fact about me is I am a miracle. I flew out of a moving vehicle at 75 miles an hour at the age of 8 years old. And just by the grace of God, I did to talk about it. And hey, there's a plan for me. I'm going through a little rough time right now. Lost my career due to the COVID changes. But anyway, every day's a gift. And so thank you for having me. I appreciate it greatly.
Kevin, thank you for being here and for your inspiration. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. No, that is inspiration. All right, Naz. And Naz lives pretty close to me. All right, Naz, give him 30 seconds. Give us your best. What do you got?
Hi, everybody. My name is Nasser Khan Montoya. I go by Nas, as you can see up in the title. And I practice business and immigration law based out of, Temecula, Murrieta, the Temecula Murrieta Valley of Southern California, wine country. We've, I guess, had this office open since 2014. I absolutely love what I do. It's a very fun job. I think when work becomes something that you enjoy, it doesn't really feel like work at all. Fun facts, I guess, would be I sing barbershop quartet.
Yes.
And then if I can get a second fun yet odd fact in,
Please.
I too have fallen out of a vehicle on the freeway at 75 miles an hour. So I'm like, that's such a random thing, but yeah, me too. There you go.
Oh my God.
Probably less thrilling than your story, I'm sure. That was just me being a dumb young kid, but whoops.
Naz, that is a super fun fact. I still don't know, and I have to just always be straight up candid, but we had a drunk man that kissed Simon Cowell on the lips in the UK, and somebody that smoked weed with Snoop Dogg. Those are 2 earlier fun facts from today. I still think they're in the pole positions, but yes, there's some amazing dynamics that are happening here as well, Craig, and thank you, Naz.
Right on. Very nice to meet you guys.
All right, boy, nice meeting. Oh, wow, a lot of fun facts. Okay, Miss Cindy, how are you doing today? And we're happy to see you on. Go ahead and give us your 30 seconds.
Hey, I'm Cindy Gatlin, founder of Bridge North. That just means I'm a wealth manager. And rather than tell you what I do, I'll just say I've been investing in stocks for 30 years, which makes me feel really old. I'd rather talk about the fun facts. So Kevin and Naz, you guys started off with your car accidents. My first car accident, I was 21. jogging on the perimeter of USC, going for a master's degree, and my professor drives over the sidewalk, hits me, and I end up in an ambulance relearning how to walk 4 surgeries later over the next couple years. Sue them because I'm Canadian originally, and I'm like, oh, that's what Americans do, right? Like, we sue for this? Yeah, so I sue for this. Down payment for my first house. Fast forward to 2012, I'm sitting in a restaurant with a client. Again, I'm a wealth manager in a suit, have all their formal professional documents, confidential documents. Kid you not. Car drives in through the glass, hits me sitting at the table, and all I can think about is, I didn't eat breakfast.
Cindy, what the heck, Cindy?
Fuck.
Oh my goodness.
I go to the ER and it's Valentine's Day, and I say to the ambulance driver, I'm like, this is the worst Valentine's Day ever. I'm single. I got dumped 3 weeks ago. I got hit by a car. I didn't get my lunch. And the ambulance driver pulls out a lollipop and he goes, please eat this in the ambulance because we're not supposed to give you food. But I will take that because I was 38 years old, told I'd never get to have a kid. And 3 days after my back surgery, I got pregnant with my miracle baby. So I'm now an advocate of crazy stuff can happen and good comes of it. Although I didn't believe that before.
Cindy, you have found your home. This is amazing. We love crazy. We love bizarre. We love weird because life is like that. And we are not confused. So that is amazing, Cindy. And thank you for your beautiful energy and for that incredibly inspirational story. And how old is your child now?
6 going on 15.
Well, congratulations, Cindy. Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Greg.
Okay, I think that is everybody. I think I got everybody on there.
Okay.
So
I am going to, at this juncture, with other dynamics to attend to, leave this in your incredible, capable hands. Craig, Andres, asking you, brother, to support in the driving of and thank everybody for being here, because influence is a superpower. By being here today, I would love to invite you guys tomorrow to our unblinded licensed professional immersion. But having been here, you're more than welcome to come. And I just want to demonstrate the superpower of human influence. A week ago, 10 days ago, Andres, Craig, fact check me. When did we decide to have this event this weekend? When did you first hear we're having it?
Oh, I would say about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, 4 weeks ago. So no video, no paid advertising, no written copy, nothing. And we're just under 700 signups right now for this weekend. So have a beautiful day. Integrist, heart-centered influence, and influencers coming together to do great things is what it's about. Accelerating money, time, and magic. And let's go play with that with Craig, Andres, all of you. Thank you so much for being here and have a beautiful, fun Friday. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Sean. And quit bringing up those surf stories, okay? Everybody, it was all surfing today.
Surf's up.
Thank you, Sean.
All right. Well, that was a treat. I didn't know Sean was coming, so that was really nice. And, I'll just tell you guys this before we start, because we want to honor all your guys' time. We're going to go quick. But just to let you know that if you can at all be for that, he doesn't do that very often. He's having basically it's a teaching thing tomorrow. So when you're done today, you want to see the direction we're going, we're only going to give you a snapshot today. And I'll tell you, for business and doing things in integrity, I mean, this is a wonderful group. I'm glad to meet each one of you here. But just remember, when we're done, if you want to look more into that, we're happy to have you do that, because he doesn't do that. Actually, this is the first time he's doing that. So that's great if you want to know more about what we do. Okay. Did it scare you guys when we said judges? Come on, be honest. Anybody say we're going to judge you? Okay, nobody. You guys are all tough. All right. I was scared when I said judges. We're going to have a little fun with this. One is one thing we do with, it's called Unblinded Mastery. All you guys represent businesses, right? Just like I said, Miss Jennifer, chiropractor, and all this. What we're going to do is we're going to go from, we call it hello to yes. And you're going to have whatever your favorite client, your most ideal client would be. And I'm going to give you an example. I get people that normally put money into an IRA, or like what Cindy, right, in stocks. And as alternative, or just to diversify, my business is to get people that are already putting money in an IRA, 401k, or they have equity in their house to buy single family residences out of state. But our company does everything, so they don't have to be an expert anything on real estate. They just need to be able to know that we do a good job. Sorry, that was my crash running around, my little doggy. So my ideal client really would be probably someone who has a few kids or thinking about the future. Basically, they have money to invest. That would be my ideal client. I want you guys all here to think about who would be your ideal client. I've talked to each of you here, and I pretty much know what each of you do. Some of you do a few things, but pick your number one thing you would like for to be your ideal client. And then you pretend like, you know, you got a referral or you met somebody, and in 3 minutes, see if you can go from hello to yes. Now, for example, for me, I'm not going to get in 3 minutes, okay, put out your 60,000 and buy this house. No, but my hello to yes might be I get to meet somebody and I would like to talk to them in the future about real estate investing. So my yes could be just setting up another time to talk. Okay. All right. And then I know these judges look scary. Look at Miss Jennifer. She probably played hockey or anything. No, she's not too scary. Miss Tiffany and then Andres. And we're going to have a couple of them give a review based on unblinded mastery. And you'll kind of get a feel for it. It's a lot of fun. So just relax. There's no way you can fail. Tiffany, have we failed anybody yet? Just that one guy. Remember, he had that one tooth from Tennessee. He didn't make it. No, that was another group. Okay. So just do the best you can. I'm going to start with wonderful Bruno because I like Bruno. I got the nickname, so I'm down. Kevin, what would you like for me to be as your ideal client? I can be whoever you want me to be.
My ideal client has a small apartment building. He's probably in his 60s and he's tired of being a landlord.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. I'm 60s. I'm real close on this one. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time you when you get down to about, well, I'll just say 2 minutes. That means you have 1 minute left and try to sew up, we would call agreement formation. It could be another, you know, hey, so we get a time to call. So you have 3 minutes, hello to yes. Okay. Does that make sense?
I think so.
I know we're not, we can't I can't shock you from here. I have no control. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Kevin. You can either like you called me on the phone or whatever, and then we'll start it. Go ahead.
Well, I gave you a phone call because it looks like you watched one of our videos and you expressed some interest. Tell me about your investment property. How long have you owned it?
Oh, hi, Kevin. Yeah, I've had this well, it was passed down to me from my parents. And so they had a little bit before they had it before I got it. So I've had it actually myself 10 years and they had it before me. Okay.
Do you enjoy being a landlord?
Oh man, did you have to say that? I like that the money brings in, but it's, you know, the older I get, I'm not as patient as I used to be.
Tell me your worst story on a bad tenant you had to evict or get rid of or move out or give them cash for keys or something.
One guy, he was really good on paper. You know, we're pretty good about checking references, but this guy came in, he was very smart. And he was in there about 7 months. He declared bankruptcy and it wasn't as much the money, just that guy really got on my nerves.
Okay. I understand, you know, it's, you can have a person that you have to move out, but they're not necessarily a bad person just going through a tough time. Then you have those other people that just trash the place before they leave, even though they don't owe you any rent.
He was totally soaking. Yeah.
So just one bad tenant can burn up a whole lot of goodwill and profit from a dozen good tenants, right?
Yes. Well, you're right.
So kind of, you know, once you have all that equity and you have that property, sometimes there's a better way to reinvest those assets. Because what is your asset? Your asset's the equity in the property. Your asset's not the property. That's just what's holding the value. So let's say you got $1 million apartment building. So real estate's what's holding that $1 million. That $1 million could be held in cash or gold or all kinds of different things. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. It's always changing value. It's always going up and down. You know, inflation affects different things different ways. So it's nice that you build up these beautiful, you know, these assets and you're holding it in real estate.
Yeah. 2 minutes. Keep going. Doing
but
great.
What if you could reposition those assets somewhere else where you had no risk, had no tenants, had no toilets, had more security than even the real estate, and had more income? No tenants and toilets, but had more income.
And you said no toilets right there. You got my attention.
So, yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's good. You got about 30 seconds more, Kevin, but I got my.
The service we provide just shows people how to transition between real estate into a trust. And we take the data, we give you a pro forma illustration, you look at the numbers, and it's a yes or no. It eliminates the need for a 1031 exchange, completely eliminates the need for one.
Wow.
And now you have this liquid trust, all the taxes are deferred, that gives you guaranteed income. So you literally look at the numbers, evaluate one against the other and see which one makes you feel safer and gives you more income.
I like that, Kevin. I got someone on the other line here, but I really like that.
All right, I'll send you over a sheet. There's 12 questions you answer on the sheet, and then we send you right back the illustration pro forma. And it's